Okay, here we are, day 10 after planting, and there's one starting to come up there, one here, and one there, and that's it. This is the morning of day 10 after planting. And there's some of our other seedlings that we've planted around the same time. So I think the chilies are very slow to germinate. Okay, we've got tomatoes there, we've got beans there, capsicums have done nothing, kohlrabi, bok choy. We've also got some watermelons growing there. Eggplants have done nothing. Parsley, which is Italian parsley, has done nothing. Chives have gone nowhere. Basil has gone nowhere. Coriander is starting to germinate, unless there's some weeds growing there, but I'd imagine that'll be coriander. And peppermint's doing nothing. So all these were planted at the same time, and this is where we're at. And the Carolina Reaper chilies are the only ones that have been in a little greenhouse, because I know they are a little bit fussy with the colder weather. Now we've also got some potatoes growing outside here. It's a little bit of a rainy day today, but that's potatoes, and we just planted some seed potatoes there. Now we've got ginger planted there, but nothing has come up yet. And that's a pineapple that we have been trying to grow for 3 years, and we still don't have a pineapple. I think that's been a complete waste of time, because you can go to the grocery store and buy a pineapple for $2 or $3. And these only produce one pineapple. And this one's been in for 3 years and has produced nothing. Nothing happening there. Let's hope we get a pineapple this year, and then we can plant something worthwhile in that garden bed, instead of that pineapple taking up valuable space to grow one lousy pineapple. We've also got ginger planted there, and ginger planted there. We have some chili plants from last year. These are about 3 years old, and we've trimmed them right back, and they're starting to come back in spring now. So these are just normal chili plants. There's more ginger there. We're actually growing ginger for money. We're getting $30 a kilo for organic ginger. And there's some ginger there as well. But none of that has come up yet. I'm hoping these will come up, because like I said, we're getting $30 a kilo for the ginger, and we're getting about 10 kilos out of a garden bed. So it's worthwhile growing these. Very, very popular crop. So that's the lemon tree. We've been getting heaps of lemons off this little tree. More lemons than what we can use, and there's still more lemons on there, as you can see. This tree has not stopped producing lemons, and it is only fairly small still. And off the top of my head, I think this one is a Mandarin tree to grow mandarins. Plenty of little flowers there, so we might get a bit off that in time to come. This one here is Valencia oranges. And again, it seems to be doing all right. And like I said, all these trees are citrus trees. This one is navel oranges. And it doesn't seem to have any flowers at all, so it's not doing much yet. And this one's looking quite healthy, and this is blood oranges. And we haven't gotten anything off this tree yet. Starting to grow nicely. And there does appear to be some things growing. Not sure if they're going to turn into oranges or not. If they are, we'll have heaps. There's a lot happening there by the look of it. And it's grown a fair bit this spring. You can see all the stuff that has grown this spring. Here's some lemon trees that we have grown for sale, and these will be sold off very, very shortly. And there's more growing here. These are all lemon trees. And there's Macadamia Trees, seedlings down the bottom there, which I'll be planting at the back of my property when they get a little bit bigger. But we've got enough citrus, so all these lemon trees will be sold off very shortly. That's more lemon trees. And there's very small lemon seedlings, they'll be sold off. We've got some blackberries happening here, which are only still fairly small. And that one there's a mulberry tree that we have grown from cuttings, and we're keeping that one. That will also be planted at the back of our property. And we will see how these macadamia seedlings will go. There's 14 of these. And I might sell some of these off, and I will plant the rest at the back of our property. Macadamia nuts grow really well in this area, and they are quite a pricey crop, easy to grow. 2 cherry trees, there's one here. Not doing a lot yet, never had a single cherry off it yet. And the other one is over the other side there. That's the other one. Hopefully we'll see some cherries this spring or summer or whenever we're supposed to be getting them. There's a few things happening there. Never know your luck. The first one here is an apple tree that's starting to come back for spring. We have 2 almond trees. I've never had any almonds off these yet, but they've grown nicely. There's one, and there's the other one. Looking pretty good this spring. Over the other side here, these are pecan trees. And again, I haven't had any pecans off these yet, but we might be getting close. We might be getting close. And that's another pecan tree there. Seems to be something happening here. So you never know your luck. Might get some pecans. That's a small fig tree. It has not really grown much in about 2 or 3 years, but it seems to come back every year, so we'll just leave it. And I do know I've got to clear some space around the bottom of all these trees. Don't comment on that. I know, I've just got to get round to it. Same with all those. You can see where I've had it all cleared before, and over winter it's all grown, and now that it's spring I'm going to have to clean that up again. There's another fig tree. This one has grown a fair bit bigger, and I have actually gotten some figs off these trees, but you've got to be quick because the birds seem to get these figs before we seem to get them. And again, you can see where it used to be cleared down the bottom and where all the weeds have grown. I'll have to get round to that. Just don't feel like it at the moment. I'll get there. Now along here we've got olive trees, and I haven't had any olives off these yet, but these started off, this whole tree I planted about 3 years ago, and it was about that big. I'm not joking, that was the whole tree when I planted it, and now it's taller than me. And this one's not looking that well actually. It just seems to be hanging on for some reason. Whereas these ones, olive trees as well, and they're looking a lot better. And look, these were all, like this tree here, was just like a little thing like that I planted. So that's where it's grown in 3 years. 3 years ago, spring 3 years ago I planted this. I do like olives. I hope I'll get some olives of these one of these days. I've had to put a star picket in here to pull it straight because this tree was leaning right over on an angle like that. So I've put a star picket in and I've just pulled it across at the beginning of spring, like I did this a few weeks ago, just to straighten it up a bit. You can see where I've tied it, and I have pulled these fairly tight just to straighten the tree up and then get it growing in the right direction. Now these are macadamia trees. Again, I need to get round to cleaning the bottom up. And this one was only planted last year, and it's sort of started off about this high, and it's now up there. So not going too bad. This macadamia tree here was planted at the same time. It's taller than me now. And again, that was about that high when I planted it. So that has grown really nicely, and you can see why I'm putting in more macadamia trees, because they are growing really, really well out here. Now next we've got a tropical apple tree. Looking pretty good. Might be getting some apples there. Oh, there you go. Have a look at that. Have a look at that. Have a look at that. Never even noticed these. There you go. Now, the trick is to try and get these. Oh, there's more there. More there. Killing it. I think last year I literally got one apple off this tree, one single apple, which I did end up eating. There's a few there now, but the trick will be to try and get them before the birds will eat them. Birds love getting stuck into this stuff. There's another macadamia tree that's been in for about 3 years. Starting to grow a little bit more there. And this one flowered for the first time this spring. So hopefully, see, this is how they normally look. This one hasn't grown as many weeds back. And like I said, I'm going to have to go around and clear all the other trees up. But this did grow some flowers for the first time this year. Okay, you can see some there, right there, and there was more. There's some in there, as you can see, and hopefully we'll be getting some macadamia nuts for the very first time this year. The rain's really starting to pick up now, and that's our mulberry tree. And we've been eating handfuls of mulberries off this. And the birds have been eating plenty as well, but we have been getting so many mulberries off this, it's incredible. Have a look at that. And literally yesterday, we ate 2 handfuls of mulberries just off this tree, and there's so many more. And there was about 20 birds on this tree yesterday, arvo, eating mulberries. I don't really mind too much, as long as we get some. But this tree's going really well, and this started off 3 years ago, being about that tall when I planted it. It was just like a single, it was probably like a single strand like that. I might see if I can add a photo in here to show you what these trees looked like 3 years ago when I planted them. You'll be very surprised. And finally we've got the bees. It is spring. It is a cold rainy day today for spring, but they are still being active, going out and about doing their thing, which is great to see. So there's a quick update on the beehive, going well, even though they are getting a little bit wet. I don't seem to mind too much. I mean, the activity level is down a bit in the colder weather, but looks like they're still doing some work. The overflow pipe. overflowing. Let's go check the other ones. Here's the other tank, and it looks like the overflow is doing its thing. And there's one more water tank, and it also appears to be full. Now there's 3 tanks here, and they are all full now, and they're 5,000 gallons each, or 22,500 litres. So there's over 67,000 litres of water there, plus there's 2 tanks attached to the house which are also full. So it's going to be a great summer. We're starting off spring with 5 water tanks at full capacity. Good to see. Now those trees that I showed you earlier, they will be planted across the back of the property there, along the back fence. I'm actually going to build a whole garden back there, and I will be doing several videos on that. It'll be fenced off, and there'll be plenty of edible plants planted all along the back there, because prices at the shops are going crazy at the moment. And I'm going to try and grow as much of our own stuff as we can to try and save a little bit of money, and any excess can be traded and sold off. So I've got all this land, I may as well use it to feed myself. I mean, that's the whole idea, isn't it? Now if you enjoy these sort of videos, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, and don't forget to smash the subscribe button, not the horse, for more videos from Mike's Man Cave. Thanks for watching, and bye for now. It's a little bit wet. Just coming over to see what's going on.